G'day, listeners. This episode is proudly brought to you by our sponsors, supshq.com.au. Use BWB15 at checkout to receive 15% off and direct shipping. G'day, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Bros with Brains, joined by your two favorite hosts and apparently the greatest bromance love story since The Notebook. Myself, Ben Mayfield Smith, and the big fella Aaron Scaffy. How are you, mates?
Good. Fuck The Notebook. We're better.
I'm creepier.
Yeah, and I've got a beard.
Hey,
so.
quick point there. Isn't it funny how people romanticize The Notebook, but if you take away the fact it's Ryan Gosling, that dude is genuinely a stalker. There's no two ways about it.
It's like all the jokes about the UTV series that came out on Netflix,
and everyone's exactly.
It's like, and then all the memes that came out like, oh, he's still got time to do all this sort of stuff. It's just like,
yeah,
man, you have issues. Sweetie, if you believe that, I love you, but fuck, come on, come on.
take like 2 notches of attractiveness away, and that guy is definitely going to end up on a list or at least like a report to the police.
Anyway, we won't ruin the series for people that haven't seen it, but yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Anyway,
how are you?
Good. It's nice and sunny today in Melbourne. It's probably going to piss down rain later, but that's fine. Melbourne weather, all 4 seasons in one day.
Love it.
Being back into training. Today, Wednesday.
I've
3 days in a row of training. It's
always funny when your clients get involved in the comment and the comment section.
Yeah, man.
Like you can tell the ones that just know you, and they're just like, oh, he's back.
Yeah, comment section blew up. It was great. So yeah, a bit finally casual now at my other business. So I only work 2 shifts. So get to push online and got a few things to get done, but a few changes are coming about online in the next few months, which would be good. Just excited to get back into it. And, sun's coming out, so much more golf too, which is awesome. I'm telling you, man, I fixed my driver today. We'll find out. I was indoors doing it, so I was practicing. So I think I'm playing again on Saturday morning. So if I can pull it off Saturday morning, we're fucking flying, mate. We're flying. So we'll do a next update on the next podcast and be like, that didn't work. I tried, but it didn't work. Yeah, well, we'll see. How about you? You been all right?
Oh, as we know, we've been all right, been better, but in my own head, loving it. Probably the first time in the prep where I'm I don't say I'm stressing, just more so I set a very high standard for myself and I set a very high expectation of myself. So when things are when the I can do more approach kicks in, I have to try and down regulate it and realize that isn't always the answer. So it's very easy for me to look at things and be like, I can do more. What else is there to do? How else can I do this? Or what else can I do here? Look at things. Am I ticking this off? So, and this just happens with me as I get closer to the end of a cut or the end of a prep, where those sort of things tick over. And it's like, I've also got to realize that there are guys that are they come into stage in better condition just from years and years of training and maturity and density. And I'm like, I want to have this, and this, and I don't have this yet. I'm going to do this. So it's all, in my head, I'm like, I'm long term, that's where I want to go. But in the short term, I'm like, okay, I got to do this and this and this.
It's like you want everything now, settle, child, settle.
Yeah. We've still got 20 years of competing to go. So
it's like it's first real show. Calm the fuck down.
It's overall, again, another fantastic week of drops. 2.6 mil over 9 sites, full mil off my midsection. What else? Weights regulating now. It's about 93 and a half, which has been good. Usually it's shooting up to about 95 by now, then comes back down. So everything is regulating, everything's ticking over. Posing practice much higher, up more frequently. Cardio's just gone up a little bit, so we're doing 2 extra sessions of half an hour in the week, and just doing some extra sun on the roof as soon as it comes out. Just getting there, just literally just laying in the sun, trying to get the vas to come out, get the tan on the skin, and just get some I noticed my vacillation is just responsive to heat and plenty of vitamin D. So get up there, get plenty of color where I can. And just put the food we do have to use. So first week where I've regulated out my calories with no high days, just all sort of the same. So I'm sitting at 250 protein, 350 carbs, and 15 fat. So it's it's a little bit less satiating, but at the same time, each day isn't as heavy.
Mhm.
So like the low days I was pushing down to like 200, and the high days twice a week was like 7. So those 2 days were great, but the low days were getting too low this far out,
Mhm.
and it was just like training intensity, recoverability, all sort of shit was just getting too low. So with the way I like to train, the way we like to train, the way we go, and the way we sort of love it, yeah, that carb intake was just kind of getting too low. So I just saw the regulation over the week as just took all total carbs, which I think was 2,500 in total, and just broke it up over 7 days, and I was just like,
Mhm.
I can just ride this out for 6 weeks, and then by the end of that 6 week, got a fill up week anyway. So yeah, it's like 6 weeks of riding this out, drop carbs where I need to, or just increase output. As we're sort of talking about before the podcast. So yeah, everything's on point, everything's happening. I've never been this dry in my midsection. Like my torso and upper is looking fucking crisp. Um, as we sort of talked about a long while ago, me and Tom I've talked about Brooklyn. Um, in previous cuts, my legs are just the last thing to come in. So it gets in my head, admittedly, because I know I want them to be shredded, and I put it all like there's no variables left to control
Mhm.
to make it happen. So it's just a matter of like literally there's no fat left to come from the top; it has to come from the bottom. So
Yeah, it's just
like,
it's not if, it's when.
yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of driving that and being consistent with it and just making sure that it happens. Which, yeah, there's no other variables left to tick over.
Mm.
Modify
May-
things when needed.
Maybe we'll do a Charles Poliquin biosignature analysis and do calipers of your legs and see what hormones are fucking up. Fucking
Yeah.
biosig. So stupid. Like, does anyone still actually listen to that? Like, fucking, anyway. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, RIP, Mr. Poliquin. Like, you're still the OG. But
We'll go.
the biosig thing was so fucking stupid. That's all it reminds me of when people say like, I got to do this, I got to do that, and it's like, don't get me wrong. I remember when I first got into the industry, I think I did a biosig. Like I got one done, not I got
Nice.
qualified to do one because fuck that. And it's like, oh, like your estrogen is high in these spots because of this, and this and this, and it's like, fuck off. You did all that from skin calipers and not from a blood test, which would have been much easier.
Yep.
Good old days.
Yep.
But yes, I mean, I think with yourself as well, like I was saying to you, your posing as well with the lower half, I think needs a touch of work. And I think that's
Yeah.
getting in the head a little bit as well. I don't think you're bringing out the actual dryness that is in your legs still. I think there is some more dryness in there. We're just not bringing it out.
Yeah.
Um, because,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's all. Again,
which we
that's all
know.
stuff now at 7 weeks, or still technically 7 weeks out, or 6 weeks and 4 days from first states, which means there's still 8 weeks, fucking 3 days from nationals. So all that stuff is now in the daily routines and activities, which already were, but just amplified up a bit. Make sure they're just yeah. I'm literally fuck. There was last night where I just literally did nothing but turn around, face the mirror, and just contract hammies. So it was just stand there, and I'm just basically hitting each quarter turn for like minutes, and just sitting there, just rotating further. Hit that, squeeze this. I'll do this one tonight. Do this one tonight. Put it all together. So yeah, it's just all those little things like that um I'm genuinely going out. If I lose, it's because I literally just was not ready yet to win. That's all
Yeah.
the only variables that I'm leaving on the cards is the subjective opinions of the judges that I'm either not big enough yet, or I just didn't have the overall dryness
Yeah.
and
Well,
robust.
I guess that's where I was sort of saying to you off camera, like, no, like we're not going to go in with if you're not big enough, you're not big enough. That's fine. We can live with that.
Yeah,
That just takes time. But bitch, they're not going to be saying that you're not conditioned enough. Like,
yeah,
no chance. That will not be in the
yeah,
that will not be in the feedback. It'll be big enough, or you need to create more pop, or maybe you
yeah,
need to fill up. But if they
yeah,
say that you're not dry enough, I will go slap every judge.
yeah, yeah. And that'll be again. That's just all the little bits of it to come still that are just part of the game. Setting like for us it's not an experience thing. We're not looking for those fucking like Instagram shots and say, hey, this is just an experience. I want experience competing. Like it's something we take very seriously and something that we're looking forward to, have looked forward to for a long time now. So I think it's easily going to be the best look I've ever had, most amount of size I've ever had, best shape I've ever had, best posing I've ever had. So far the best muscularity I've ever had. It's just a matter of bringing it out, make sure it looks there. And yeah, bringing the details in where it matters. Because right now everything else is sort of just on. I know it's on point. Like all of my sort of subjective markers and my objective markers are all tracking in the right direction. So I'll land right on time. I'm very similar to I think I watched a video of, it was either James or Ian saying I don't like to be told I'm ready early. Because to me then I'll take the foot off the gas.
Yeah,
And like I it sounds like a bit of a pressure sort of thing, but I'll come in like going by current numbers and doing, I'm not changing fuck all so far. Um I'll be coming in pretty much a week out, fucking the best condition possible.
yeah,
Like I won't have been in this condition before in my life. So if the numbers and the trajectory and the projections are where I think they are and what the numbers are saying, even to the degree of or margin of error of someone novice using the calipers, I'd still allow a 10% margin of error and still be certain that I'm coming in a better
yeah.
total percentage than I've ever been. So all that is like, yeah, just good news and positive stuff. And just basically saying like, just keep doing this for the next fucking 6 weeks and watch it happen.
Well,
So
yeah,
you're gonna
literally.
fucking fill up.
Yeah, just literally just keep on keeping on, right?
It was like this is the craziest part. When I explained these numbers to someone, I was at 10 kilos lighter than this.
Yeah,
I was 32 millimeters on stage over
yeah,
9 sides. I am now currently 35.8 millimeters over 9 sides
mm,
at 94 kilos.
yeah,
I was on stage in Queensland at 84. I was on
yeah,
stage in Melbourne at 82, I think it was, something like that. So literally 10 kilos heavier
yeah.
with 3 mils of fucking fat over 9 sites
To come
more
off, to still
to
come off at least. We're going
to
to be
come off at
pulling off.
least, and it's still got 7 weeks to go.
Yeah, we're going to be pulling off way more than that. Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's not even a
Yeah.
question. That's yeah.
If I can't see your liver, I'm not happy.
It will be inflamed, but we will see it.
I want to see organs, boy.
Yeah, no. Overall, it's just overall, it's a good spot objectively. Just getting my head to see that subjectively.
Yep, totally and utterly fair, and that's why we have people in your corner
Correct.
to tell you to shut up. Just
Pretty
and to tell you to
much.
shut up and just keep going. Just one job. So I guess today we had a lot of questions. We had a lot of questions we didn't answer last week, to be
Mhm,
honest, because obviously we were restricted with time. So we've got about
mhm,
a good 50 odd minutes, I reckon, to get through as many questions as we can because we've got a few.
mhm,
So let us kick on from last week's questions first.
mhm. Let's do it.
500 milligrams of test a week as a starting dose, good or bad idea? It is a horrendous idea. Go to a gram. Stop being a bitch. No, don't do that. So I know a lot of forums back in the day, and a lot of old PD books, like what is it? Oh, I've got the book behind me somewhere. It's like the Bible, Lewin's Book of Anabolics or whatever it's called. I think that suggests maybe a starting cycle. No, that doesn't suggest it. What's the starting cycle? Who put it up? 500 milligrams. I think it may be on T Nation or one of them.
Classic.
Yeah, was it starting strength? Maybe their cycle.
Yeah.
It's like 500 milligrams a test and 20 milligrams of D-bol or something. Yeah, look, it's a very bad idea. You want to use testosterone based on your blood serum levels of testosterone, and then sort of scale that way, and then work out, I guess, what you're wanting from testosterone,
Hmm.
and your body's ability to handle its side effects, being like estrogen and the raise in estrogen. So, is it a good starting dose? I mean, like sure, like if you're going to get some gains from it, you're probably also going to run your estrogen really high, and then
Hmm.
not be able to deal with the side effects of 500 milligrams test. With the research, we see that 600 milligrams is sort of like the max where we see benefits, and anything really above 600, you're not getting as many benefits, if any, as you would on 600 or less. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, eh. So is it a good or bad idea? I mean, it's a bad idea, but it will work if you want
I
the
mean,
answer to that.
putting anything in like that at that amount is just going to work. It's just whether or not it's efficient, effective, or necessary.
Yeah, it's like what's it doing to your insides?
Yeah, yeah.
Your top three best protein pre-workout and fat burners.
Oh, Jesus.
So I imagine one of each. Top three
Yeah.
best.
Let's say one of each. There's a lot.
I just use
Um,
bulk nutrients for protein because that's easy.
yeah, easy.
Yeah, just tastes nice. Pre-workout, it's like coffee, double shot coffee. If I'm feeling fancy, triple or quadruple shot coffee.
Oh, big boy.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are like, oh, what about caffeine tablets? And I'm not opposed to caffeine tablets because it's very
Mhm.
easy to control the milligrams. I just like coffee.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I'm Italian. I like the taste of coffee.
Mhm.
So give me a quadruple shot coffee and let's rock this shit.
Honestly, the I have never tasted a protein so good as Aliens peanut butter vanilla. I
Oh,
still,
he's still going on
oh,
about it.
bro, I haven't swapped that thing in like 4 months. That thing's crack cocaine to me right now.
It's funny because I
The
don't like those
taste,
flavored proteins. I just have vanilla protein. I
yeah.
don't like, yeah,
If you have a sweet if you have a sweet tooth, you're going through a heavy cut and need something sweet and tasty, or just like you want something that's like creamy and thick, amps up your Greek yogurt and stuff. Like holy fuck, it is. I just had it this morning for my first meal and it was fucking heroin. Um, pre-workout, like I still rate Inspired BBD is probably like my favorite one that I've used. Um, I've always just found again, uh, research wise, like there's things that are for and against like a blended ingredient pre-workouts. But I just found like my training sessions are always on them fantastic. Cognitively, I'm always in a good spot, and the energy and focus on them was just always good. So mixture of having good food and stuff like that. But even in deficits now, I still use it and I feel fucking great. So as a bare minimum, if it's going to make my prep training better, I don't give a fuck. I'm taking it.
oh, fair.
So having this conversation the other day with someone when we were talking about like when people talk about the 1%ers that don't matter, I'm like, oh, this pre-work, it's a 1%, it doesn't make a big deal. If you're talking to someone who's never been lean or never been comp prep lean or never been like comp prepped or on the stage on a powerlifting meet or something like that, if you're talking about 1%ers and disrespecting them and dismissing them, you have no right to when you haven't experienced the benefit of a 1%er of this degree of training or like training capacity, because they
Yeah,
make a fucking difference.
yeah. At the obviously the caveat to that is it's like making sure everything else is in
Oh, for
place
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
before you go to the
Which
pre-workout. Like,
we wouldn't be in the position
yeah,
of being a bodybuilder if
yeah,
that
yeah.
was the case, right?
Yeah, of course. I think yeah, it's more so like
But yeah, no, I definitely
those that are reliant on external
yes,
factors, and it's kind of like,
100%.
dude, like all you needed to do was eat a bit of food, have half a packet of rice crackers, and you would have been right. Like
Yeah,
just saying. But
yeah,
anyway, and fat burners, obviously clenbuterol,
obviously,
obviously,
without question.
because over the counter fat burners don't do anything. Just saying. Like they're all just caffeine. You may as well just take it. You should
Mm-hmm.
just take most of the pre-workout, most of the fat burners you can buy is pre-workout.
Yeah.
If they taste good, just do it. YOLO, send it.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Larry Wheels moving only to a TRT and how will
Oh, I
stopping PEDs
saw this.
affecting him? I haven't. I heard. I haven't seen.
He's now claiming that he's 90% natural because he's dropped to TRT. And I was like,
Did
fuck.
he? Did he say why he went to TRT?
I think there was some health aspects or something like that, but he's
Which
kind
doesn't surprise me.
of yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Um, honestly, I just don't think anything of him. Like he for a guy who's claiming like his name is Wheels, he actually doesn't have that big of legs. Like
No, he don't bet that he's strong as fuck.
oh, strong as fuck. Um,
Like he's
I just
hugely
don't
strong.
think much of him. Like it's not
Not me
someone I
though.
consider. Um, when I think of strongmen and I think of like powerlifters, and I think of bodybuilders, like he doesn't combine into any of them for me. So I'm just like, like you're a cool Instagrammer and stuff like that, but hearing people like them talk about their doses and shit like that, and you just know it's either going to be a lie full of shit or there's like some made up reasons to why they're doing it. So hearing him argue that it was like, what is he? He claims he's 90% natty because he's gone back to TRT. Like, cool. Fuad Abiyat's gone back to 90% because he's fucking TRT. Guy Sistanino's gone back to TRT. Like, cool, bro. But that doesn't mean you're not using.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Did he make a video about it, or did he get on a podcast and say it? I can't remember.
I think he was on a podcast about it because it was on it was on a video snippet.
Yeah, I thought that might have been the case because I remember seeing something going around, but I didn't really pay attention to it because it's like I'm not gonna lie, I don't care. It's Larry Wheels, but I'm not surprised if he had to go to TRT because of health reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Like that does not surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause he's a bit of a nuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else we got? What point of a bulk do you go from? Oh, it keeps changing. Come back. Hold on. It keeps changing, updating on here. It's really annoying. Oh, yeah. At what point of a bulk do you go from stringers to oversized shirts?
Instantly.
I mean, you just
You
don't wear stringers, do you?
gotta look bigger.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't wear stringers. I'm too hairy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge stringer guy.
No.
It was the rage. It was the rage back in the day, and it was just kind of like, no, they were just phased out. Now I just wear oversized fucking shirts. Any shirt I can get is big.
Yeah, I just wear t-shirts. I don't wear stringers.
I went through Kmart today actually, and there was like these massive like 5XL shirts for like fucking $6. I was like, when I need training tees, I'm getting those.
100%. Mate, Kmart, Target, the bomb. Sponsor us. Um, Jim Peeve, the flog at World's Ipswich, who puts 3 towels on 3 pieces and then does chin-ups. I don't know who he's talking about.
I don't know who he's talking about, but we've talked about it before. I know who this post is from. But yeah, there's a guy who goes there and he'll rack up like peak times. He'll rack up like 3 pieces of equipment, and then stretch on other equipment, and then take his time to do some other exercise. Then come back and try and even do those exercises. Then look at you like you're an asshole for trying to use it and be like, "Hey man, you're nearly done." And like, man, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, at what time does it start becoming like the courtesy, the gym etiquette to not triple set or superset stuff? And if you are going to do it, you aren't looking at people like they shouldn't be near your shit. Like, supersetting if it's like close proximity, but if it's like fucking over here at the squat racks, over there at the cables, over there at the fucking free
Yeah.
weights, and it's like you're just being a dick at this point.
Yeah, it's funny. So every time I've written programs with supersets, like way back in the day, I don't really write supersets that much anymore, but it will be usually like a machine and then like a dumbbell movement. So you can take the dumbbell to the machine
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
can
And
do
you're
it
not in your
next
own
to the
way.
machine. Yeah. Like you do the exercise like a leg extension, then you do something with the
Yeah.
dumbbell right next to the machine. So people know that you're still using the machine and you're not in the
Yeah.
way. Like it's just people are stupid.
Yeah.
Finding it harder to get to sleep and wake up while growing. All routines are the same. What do you think it could be? It's funny because usually you'd be finding it easier to get to sleep in a growing phase, unless you have a very big accumulation of central fatigue. So to me, it sounds like it's, accumulated central fatigue where you get those down regulations and potentially lead to, harder, making it harder to get to sleep because you're a bit more edgy, antsy,
Yeah.
you can be a bit more restless, that sort of thing. And again, that's going on the info that you've said, everything else is sort of still accounted for. So that's taking out, your nutrition and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Could be too. Like, I found if I was back eating too much because like the day went by and I was trying to, like, when we're growing and calories were nice and high, I would just feel disrupted and uncomfortable to sleep. So like when you know 5,000-6,000 calories when you've left like 3,000 in the day because work's busy,
mhm.
and you're like trying to get those in, I would find that at a point it's comfortable. And you're like, oh, I could go to bed here and feel I'm tired. Then you're like, I've still got 1,000 calories to get in. You got to drink that down, do something, and all of a sudden your gut's just like, I need to shit. I need to do this. Fucking get up and
Yeah,
move it so it
yeah,
digests.
that's
Like,
fair. Yeah,
that bit of discomfort comes in where it's just like that throws off my sleep. So this off season, like, that's a big focus for me, is just making sure my meal specificity and spacing is more
yeah.
adequate.
Well, we could also then look at like food sources and that sort of stuff, and like
Yeah.
what you're eating closer to bed. If you had higher cal meals and if it's more easily digestible, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, based on that question, it just sounds like you're probably due for a deload,
Yeah.
more than anything.
Yeah.
Because yeah, in a growth phase, usually you should be getting great sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in a growth phase, I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know many people that don't actually get good sleep in a growth phase.
My snoring goes through the fucking roof. You know I'm sleeping when
Oh,
I'm in growth phase.
100%. It's great.
Yeah.
Caffeinated substitutes for energy drinks that aren't carbonated or coffee. I mean, we said it, no dose.
Yeah.
Caffeine tablets, like
Yep.
very straightforward. I can't go any more in depth on that question. Um, I don't think is there any other alternatives for energy substitutes for energy drinks other than carbonated.
Oh, some of them used to do like your oh fuck. Can't remember the brands. They used to do like your
What
like
about like does it amino energy and all that have caffeine in them? Like the powder, you just mix it.
yeah.
Yeah, for energy
Um,
drinks that aren't carbonated or coffee, like just have a pre-workout.
yeah, there's I think yeah, you got those like the tiny single shots that are like they're actually like a shot,
Yeah,
and it's like it's not carbonated, it's not soft, it's not a soft drink or anything like that. It's just simply like it's
caffeine
like a
hit.
yeah, liquid made pre-workout, but it's like it's fucking rough, man. They're shots of nitro fuel.
Yeah, I mean that's the best.
Yeah.
Just get it going.
Yeah.
Get in
Get
there.
it in.
Just
Full
go buy
send.
the pre-made C4.
Yeah.
I used to love those.
Yeah. Except they're like $70 a fucking can.
Yeah, well, they did get pricey, and I was like, yeah, no,
I'd have customers come in, literally buy one a day, and after 2 weeks, I'm like, bro, you've bought a tub at this point. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, and
And
you could have literally doubled the amount with the tub.
yeah, exactly. You've already bought a tub and you've got 5 serves. Like, what are you doing, man? Oh no, I'll just get okay. All right.
Yeah, that's yeah. I kind of short of that. Like, I don't know what other caffeinated substitutes there would be, bar caffeine tablets. You wake up with any superpower, but it's only good for 24 hours a year. So one day a year. What are you going to go with?
Reality manipulation. I can do whatever the fuck I want in that day. I could change time in that day if I want to.
I was going to say you'd be like looking at something to do with time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to make that whole day feel like a lifetime.
Call me
But in
Franklin Richards.
you've been saying that like you can't do anything else with it because you can
You
only
could
explore.
reality warp it. You could do everything with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of my one. Like if you're gonna mess with time, you're just like basically shortening or
You could,
expanding time. You don't have any other power other than that. It's like cool.
yeah, but think about what you can do in that time. You can reset that day every fucking it gets to 23 hours. We just go back in time a day. Go back in time a
Well, that's what I
day.
was gonna say. Well, that's what I was gonna say. You could just do like instant teleportation and just be
Yeah,
like,
you pretty much just like yeah,
just move through time zones.
yeah, exactly. Like teleportation, if we look at time and space, like the time duration the track takes you to travel through space, you're just shortening that distance by changing the time.
Yeah,
So
it's like
travel to that location faster,
well,
go back in time
or that,
here,
or like enjoy what you can for the 23 hours and like 59 minutes, and then
and then
for
go
that
back
last
again.
minute, well, that last minute you teleport to space, wait for the world to spin and back down because the
Yep.
time's the irrelevance
Yep.
of time. So every day you're just on the same day every year.
Yeah. They just discovered an exoplanet planet that apparently has like it's like Earth's Earth's environment and gravity, but it's like Earth's environment and shape, but the time is something like 11 months in the space of like one rotation, and it's like the time it takes for to rotate like Earth, something like 11 months past. I'm like, that's pretty much like that's some interstellar shit. That's
Yeah,
a movie.
that's pretty cool. What else we got? Peeve, hack squat or standing calf raise machine used for shoulder press.
Oh yeah, I've seen these. Fuck.
I mean, I've seen a
Well, people
joke.
trying to,
I've seen a joke video about a hack squat being used as a shoulder press, but I know it was a joke.
I've
I
seen the
haven't.
video.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have not seen anybody do either of them real.
Swolesy does it on fucking Instagram.
I don't
Like,
follow him, so that's fine.
yeah. Oh yeah, it comes up in like your explore or something like that, and I'll see it. Like, he's definitely rebranded himself. He does a lot of positives nowadays. Like he's trying to call out all the bullshit, but at the same time, like we'll then go and try and do Viking press on a fucking hack squat or a calf raise machine. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, like I know, like I said, I know I've seen people joke and post that they're doing it like it's obviously a joke, but I've never gone to the gym and seen anybody actually do it.
Mm. I've seen, yeah, I've not seen it in person. I've seen it as a video or a TikTok or something like that. Just typical TikTok shit.
I
But
mean,
people
if you're
do it.
one of the listeners, if you've seen it, can you like record it and send it to
Yeah,
me? Because I'm just curious. Like I just curious.
just be sneaky. Look creepy, but just do it.
Ben, as a bodybuilder, do you have two separate wardrobes for different compositions?
No, not really. I just noticed that everything that I wear now, even as I get bigger, it just everything gets bigger as I get bigger. That's it. Like even like I've got like basketball jerseys, but I'll wear those in off season stuff too sometimes. But most of the time now, like it's shirts and jumpers, and then it's oversized shirts and oversized shirts. I just find I'm more comfortable like that. The whole like tight singlets or stringers or tight tees or training tees and stuff. I don't know, it doesn't entice me anymore. So everything's just big. I might
Yes.
tuck it in, but I like the comfortability of like it just being like an oversized at length and like arms. So yeah, that's about it.
Hmm. I mean, fair. Very, very fair. Oh, where all these other questions go? Fuck, marry, kill. Kevin Feige, Russo brothers, or Snyder.
Good question.
Some flog message that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. I couldn't I like I you've got to kill Snyder because well otherwise killing the other two just takes away from the stories that have been told. But at the same time, like Snyder, there was a lot where he was restricted by the DC corporation that really restricted what he was able to do with Warner Brothers,
Mm.
and I think that limited the potential of the storylines he had to tell. I also think that he was given a sinking ship, but tried to make the best of what he had. They tried to rush, obviously, the whole assembling that tried to keep up with Marvel releasing Avengers and shit like that, which is a bad idea. Fucking couldn't keep characters and stories going. But I think like had he have had his way in the time frame he had to do it, like Marvel did, he would have built up a really good storyline. It's just not going to happen. So you've got to kill Phage. I mean, so you've got to kill Snyder because
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to take away from Phage and Russo brothers.
Hmm.
Um, you're going to marry Phage because he's planning out the next. He's the guy. He is the
He's
guy.
the man. Yes.
The Russo brothers, you're gonna fuck them for what they've done because it's so good, but then at the same time they're not really producing anymore for Marvel. So, well, they're doing other projects. So yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
marry Phage and you're probably gonna fuck the Russo brothers.
No, look, I'm gonna have to agree. I can't really. Yeah, it's like Snyder's cut was still really good.
I didn't like it. It didn't add anything.
Ah,
It didn't add any extra
nah,
flair to me. It was 4 hours,
nah,
but it was like
nah,
didn't
it
add
did.
any extra.
It did. It really did.
Oh, compared to what was there, yeah, for
That's what
sure.
I'm saying. It really did.
Yeah,
It did the movie like
but
justice.
at the same time, if it took 4 hours to tell that story, you probably should have just made two movies out of it.
Well, that was the original thought process behind it. They were going to do it in
Yeah.
parts, and then but whatever. I still thought like his cut was good, very
Oh,
good.
I just
Original,
thought as a whole, the story was fucking shit. Like I
yeah,
just thought,
that I don't disagree. That I don't
yeah,
disagree with. But in terms of like the actual,
yeah, the
edits
way
of
they
the film,
ruined, the way they ruined, Steppenwolf, fucking Doomsday potentially showing up more, like, sorry, Darkseid showing up better.
yeah.
Um, the
But
no Green Lantern crew, like fucking literally, like how
yeah,
fuck
I
that
know. But when we try to look at the positives, like you got Superman in the black suit, and you got like,
that was cool.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean? They actually sort of kind of stuck a little bit to it, and I'm like, okay, like that's good. That's why I was
yeah.
like, yeah, this is way better than
Oh
what
yeah, yeah.
originally came out, which was
After 4 hours, though, definitely should have been two movies.
yeah. I didn't. I liked the extended cut, so it didn't bother me. I mean, have you seen Lord of the Rings extended cut? You're there for 3 days. It's great. Like, come on. True or false? Macros or calories of food changing depending on how it's cooked or how ripe it is, etc. So the question is, does the density of the food change or the actual nutritional makeup of the food change based on whether it's cooked or whether it's ripe and all that sort of stuff? I mean, yeah, it does, but is it worth worrying about? No. Um,
Just regulate. Like if you're cooking, to me, like I always do pre-cooked weights with
yeah,
clients with
keep
digestive
just say
foods.
keep it the
If you
same.
pre-cooked weights just means you're controlling the variables, and then when it does water, it, like, meats will deflate because they
Yeah,
lose fats and water,
yeah,
and a lot of your starch carbohydrates will increase, because they're absorbing or cooking.
yeah.
So like your rices, pastas, stuff like that, potatoes, you're gonna get more out of it. So I just always go by pre-cooked weight. That's why when I see bodybuilders, like I get they do the same thing every day, but even still, that variable, I always just do pre-cooked weight. So when you see people like, I have like 250 ounces of cooked rice, like why? Just say 100 grams of
Yeah,
cooked rice
yeah,
or uncooked rice.
yeah. I agree. It's like, does it change? Like, yeah, it does obviously because you're either adding or taking away.
Yeah,
But at the same time, if you're measuring everything out or you're going with the same process each time, whether that be cooked or uncooked, then you're fine.
yeah. The only thing
Uh,
would be like if you're gonna do stuff like you're boiling and cooking, just make sure it's the same amount of water and same
yeah,
amount of flavor, same amount of sodium. Like that stuff will just change inflation of the volume of food, which will then
yeah,
change the total weight.
exactly. Fuck, marry, kill. Quest bar, BCS bar, and New Foods fueled bar.
Oh, BSC, not BCS.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, BSC.
BSC, yeah, BSC.
Um,
I've never had any of these, so I don't
oh,
eat protein bars. I can't stand them.
yeah. I've had them in time. Like I've had them over time when I was low on food at work and stuff like that. But I haven't had the U Foods bar yet. They've been marketed pretty hard, but I haven't had one. Um, Quest bar has just always been trash to me. They always got overrated and overhyped. And everyone used to love them. I don't know fucking why they were trash. I would kill kill the Quest bar because fucking is just over it. It's been around for too long. It's a shit bar. Um, marry Marry the BSC bar. It's just actually like they flavor it a bit better. They use collagen and whey protein, so you get like an actual almost chocolate bar out of it. Not collagen, sorry. Yeah, collagen and casein, so you almost get a mixed. It's almost like a chocolate bar. And fuck the new foods one because I haven't tried it yet. Just one
Yeah,
night, one night
I,
stand.
I just kill them all because I hate protein bars.
Yeah,
I hate them. I hate the
I'd rather just
powdery
yeah, I'd
taste.
rather
It
just
burns my
yeah,
soul.
I'd rather just eat fucking protein. I'd rather just eat some chicken or some kangaroo or something like that.
There was one that came out. I can never remember the brand, but I remember the label. It's like black with a like orangey, tanny
Grenade.
gold.
Was it grenade?
I don't know. Don't think so. But it's like you could only buy it like Coles.
Yeah, right.
It was one of those brands. But the protein bar tasted like a Mars bar, like
Nice.
literally. But then you look at it and you're like, well, it's pretty much a Mars bar. So
Yeah, same
kind of
calories,
made
same
kind of made sense.
macros.
You're like, yeah,
Yeah,
with a little bit extra protein. Like it was like
yeah,
15 grams of protein for like a bar. I'm like, cool. I'm not going to go out of my way to use this as a protein bar, but this tastes delicious.
yeah.
Yeah, I would not recommend protein bars because they taste like shit.
Yeah.
Would you rather only be able to squat high using a Smith machine or deadlift double underhand?
Oh, Jesus fuck. Both of those sound.
Squat high using a Smith machine. I guess how high are we squatting? Like, is it a quarter squat? Is it just
Yeah,
above parallel? If it's just above parallel, I'm going to go with the squat.
you're only hitting 3/4 squat.
Yeah, if it's only like a quarter squat.
Like you're like that like Darren's first time in the gym. He saw that he should bend his knees, and that's a rep.
Yeah, yeah, he's just bending the knees, not like moving the hips
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. That's your squat. That's what you got to do.
Deadlift double underhand. Fuck, that'd be brutal. Like, think
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
my biceps already hurt thinking about it.
Yeah, that
Um,
tear for sure.
well, I mean, I just wouldn't be lifting that heavy of a weight, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess also it doesn't say that I can't RDL, which I'll just smash out heavy RDL. So,
Underhand RDLs. Yeah, that's fair.
well, I'll just do normal RDLs because it doesn't say that. It says deadlift, so it's okay.
That's true.
So there's ways around it.
Hey,
um,
pause for a sec. I am busting your toilet. My
morning.
diuresis is
All right, we're back after Ben's toilet break.
all right. We're good. We've got a few more minutes left before I have to go again.
We're good. He's ready for another round of questions. Yeah, so did we end up deciding what we want? I'm going to go with the double underhand deadlifts because I'm going to just heavy ass start deadlift RDL.
Yeah, okay, so I can't be caught dead doing a fucking high squat on a Smith machine.
Well, you can't be like every natural bro that does squats in a Smith machine and goes really high.
Just make sure that naturals in your bio on Instagram as well.
100%. Does PEDs get filtered through the liver if injected? Yes. Just because it's not ingested doesn't mean it doesn't go through liver metabolism. It does. And still can cause many issues. And it's why your blood lipids usually go up or your cholesterol and all that goes up. Well, LDL, HDL actually goes down, but that's fine. Yes, it all is still metabolized via the liver. It's just a little bit of a different process, but I'm not going to get into the biochemistry of that because we'd be here all day.
Correct.
Here's
Yeah.
one that you will enjoy. ICN recommends stopping any supplementation a week out to avoid any banned substances. Does this include things like WPI, creatine, vitamins, or are people claiming positives on these things? I don't know about that last part. I don't get it.
Positives on things. Oh, like false positives and stuff like that. Like how people try to remember there was a period where people were trying to blame protein, like there was a swimmers trying to blame protein powders for them passing the drug
Oh
test.
yeah, well, I remember who was it? The AFL footy players that were blaming New Zealand cows or something for clenbuterol. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
go on.
okay, bro.
Come on. Turn it down. You got caught. Yeah, I think they're you want to hope for starters they're referring to over the counter supplements, but yeah, like fuck me. Like firstly, you probably don't need pre-workouts that close to a show anyway. Like you're not going to be doing heavy sessions, you'll just be getting 3 a day. But like tone it down. Firstly, they're not getting you're not being tested that scrupulously that heavily from ICM that you're gonna get a flagging on. I don't even know what could come up, but let's say it does. It's not going to happen. I mean, fuck, they're not even WADA affiliated anymore. They just use they use WADA's current standard, but they're not WADA affiliated. They got taken like WADA or ASADA and them separated ages ago. You just get tested on the same sort of standard. And how often you get tested? Like it's an independent bodybuilding association. They can't afford to test everyone. So I'm not sure what they're hoping to pick up or what they're trying to insinuate out of saying that. I guess it's just like remove the risk, although I don't know what the risk is, because if you're genuinely not taking anything, protein and creatine and any of that sort of shit is not going to be affecting your pass or fail levels.
Yeah, fair. So basically, you'd be fine. As long as you're not taking anything that's actually on the banned list, you're fine.
Yeah. If you're not taking anything on the ban list, like you'll be fine.
Yeah,
And
you can still
let's
take.
be honest, if you are, you probably stopped at 3 or 4 weeks before, which they do.
Yeah, I was gonna say taking anything illegal, stopping it a week before is not going to help your case.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep taking your creatine, your protein, and your vitamins. You're fine.
Yeah.
Rant time. Using a belt for everything.
Kill yourself. That's as far as we go on that.
Yeah,
Gotta keep my waist tight, bro.
yeah, we know that it doesn't, like, at all, especially from like a physiological standpoint. I remember when that was the thing going around with a certain coach and all that. That was fun. Those were good times.
There was a bloke at Sanctuary that literally used to wear an Olympic belt walking in, and
Yeah.
then he wearing, and it's a young cat, and like
Yeah.
I know I'd seen his coach, and he was already on cycle at like 18, and he
Yeah.
looked like trained like shit, looked like shit. I'm gonna have to assume he ate like shit because he literally made no progress. Was posing and talking between every set, but he wore an Olympic belt between each session, and between each set. And he'd use it for like bicep curls and dumbbell curls and tricep extensions. Like, what are you fucking doing, man? Like, fuck.
Yeah, I've seen the argument for controlling of breath.
Yes, I have too. I've seen this. I've
I
made
can,
it myself.
yeah, I can understand that more, and I would happily agree that if you get benefit from that, sure, it allows you to
Yeah,
control, the abdominals and being able to
yeah.
keep like a tighter waist and like
Yeah,
control your
if it
waist a little
brings
bit
your
better.
conscious thought process that you're like,
Yes.
hey, I've got to keep my waist in. And I've made that argument when, again, it's one of those things where people are like, it's 1%er. Yes, agreed. However, all things considered, if you're blowing out and you're getting heavy in an off season and, it reminds you to stay tight, to keep core bracing, to keep breathing in, that to me makes sense. But in the essence, that you're doing it purely because like physiologically it's going to keep my waist tighter. Nah, bro.
Yeah,
Just
like,
fucking stop.
yeah. So it's like I can understand that argument, but to use it for every exercise, like bicep curls, kind of like, probably not needed, bro.
Yeah.
Squatting without shoes, yeah or nah?
Either
Yeah.
or. Whatever's most comfortable for you to squat.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say, you get some what we call proprioception or feedback from the floor when you don't have shoes or you have a very thin sole. So using like a flat sole shoe.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're using like, a cross trainer or a runner, like you're not going to get that feedback as well as the instability in the shoe. So you have like,
yes, agreed.
you potentially have arch support that's already there. You have, gel in the heel. Your toes are already up because that's the way the runner is designed. So you're just not getting even distribution of like your weight in the squat.
Yeah.
So if you have those shoes, then I'd be suggesting get a flat shoe. And if you don't have a flat shoe or, you don't want to, you can just squat barefoot. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to get better feedback from the floor. Last one actually. Do you secretly pick clients with similar goals against each other to get the best out of them? I don't know.
I see you found my secrets.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Have I in the past? I don't pit them against each other, like per se. Like I'm not sure
Client A
how.
called you a bitch. Client B, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, like I don't do that. Not that I can think of anyway. It's kind of, a lot of my clients are really good in that. Like that, a lot of them they'll either reach out to each other or they happen to know each other because obviously they're referrals and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So they'll compare, I think, themselves to each other, but it's not like I'm the one that's instigating it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, this person does this. Like that's kind of bad coaching, I think, in a sense. It's like considering
Like,
coaching should be like you're going to get the best out of yourself, not you're going to compare yourself to your friend or someone that's on my list or anything like that.
I've seen times where how would you explain it? Like on our training session stuff, like I've seen my prior coach, which everyone knows, he tagged a new client who was saying he couldn't find the intensity for like a higher weight on things like hack squat. And I just simply reached out. I'm like, oh, you're saying I was doing this wrong, or just double check? He's like, oh no, he didn't have that belief that he had that intensity and to find, yada yada. And so I was just saying the guys that are growing are doing, 2, 3, 4 plates aside, 5 plates aside, putting that intensity work in. So that was the closest thing I've seen from my own coach, who was sort of saying, not as a comparison pit against each other, just more so like, look, if you want to grow, this is what the guys that are growing are doing. So,
Yeah,
fucking suck it up and stop telling yourself you're a bitch. But that's about it.
yeah,
Like, it's never like, haha, this guy's doing more than you fucking pussy.
yeah. I mean, I'd be more inclined to probably do that with my own training partners as a joke more
Yeah.
than anything.
Oh
I
yeah.
think just for a bit of fun, like a bit of banter.
Yeah.
I think more than being like to my clients who are paying me, you know, yeah, this person's lifting more than you. Like, what are you gonna do about it? It's kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Hurry up,
kind of
catch
my
up.
job. It's kind of my job to make you stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of a bad
Kind of
look.
the point we're together, right?
It's kind of like a bad look on me. Like trying to pit my clients against each other would be stupid because it means I'm not doing my job well. I feel like,
Oh,
yeah, in a sense, right? Like, oh, like you're not as strong as that person. Wait a minute. That's I'm the one that's
pretty sure
doing your
it's on me.
programming. Yeah, I'm doing your programming and your
Yeah.
nutrition. Oh, maybe it's something on me then, not on you. But
Yeah.
anyway, that
Yes.
is it for the questions today,
A lot
good
of
sir.
questions.
There were a few. They were good ones. Always fun
Cool.
talking shit. I know you're probably on maintenance, business maintenance for the next 6 or so weeks. I'd ask if anything's
Yeah.
coming out, but the answer should be no.
Should be no.
Should be no.
We've got a nice little ebook coming out that I just worked on recently that nothing heavy, nothing dense, but I think it's relevant to the phase of training I'm in, and it's bread and butter to me, so it's no big secret. But it was just an ebook that I think, based on the conversations I've had with a lot of people and stuff, it's just people don't comprehend that extreme or heavy deficit dieting is a skill set. Like, I view it personally as a skill set. Like, to be able to sustain a diet, know what all these things mean, what they're doing. Like, it's a skill to handle being this state of depletion and still exist and live and handle relationships. Like, it's not just it's like going from driving your first Corolla to just going straight to a fucking V12 and be like, oh, I can drive supercars. There's there's levels to it, and there's certain physiological responses, psychological responses, hormonal responses. There's triggers, there's tips, there's tricks, there's cues and stuff that we can do to modify, handle, progress, and get better at. Um, so I think like a big part of getting people around that, especially the people that come out of these things blaming bodybuilding or their coach for their fucking diet bullshit or their fucking body image issues and crap like that.
Yes.
Um,
Bodybuilding gave me a bad relationship with food.
yeah, no, you already had a bad relationship with food. You just unhooked it. Um, so instead of being able to just pass the buck on that, I'm like, well, you know what? Here's like 5 to 7 tips on fat loss phases or cut phases that aren't the general realm. Like for me, like it was on more like around like mindful applications and things like acceptance and perspective, as well as like understanding what happens in these phases. So I think it's like 3,000 words, which to me is just like I was just rambling one day. So yeah, I've got that coming out. We're gonna have that done pretty soon. Brooklyn will put a landing page together for it, and you'll just be able to download it for free. We're just gonna put it out there, just something free. Um, I'm just of the philosophy that all this sort of basic stuff to us is not what you're paying for when it comes to coaching with me. So keeping it to myself isn't a big deal. I don't think that's coaching. It's not like it's not my reputation. It's not why you're coming to me. So having that little giveaway there just sort of makes other coaches better, or people that are going to be clients or even clients to someone else handle their phase a bit better. Cool. So be it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of ticking through any pre-made slides we have for the courses. I'll just be recording those and ticking them over. I'll probably move into a maintenance phase with clients and just sort of go to just catch ups and looms and stuff like that. Just waiting to hear back from one of the other business partners, but I am moving into an in-person facility, which will be pretty cool. So if you are in Brisbane, looking to see how we do things or what a session can look like or a program can look like, definitely reach out, as we open up like 1 or 2 days a month, not a week, a month. I'll be keeping a very tight ship on that. Starting focus for clients firstly, and then I'll probably open up to like a public day and just sort of lay out a scheduling system, just have like an open day to clients. To the public for like first time sessions, stuff like that. But I'm gonna be very rigid with it. So, if you're obviously not going to take it seriously or you're not going to stick to the schedule or anything like that, it's not going to be for us. But yeah, I'm very excited about that to get back into the actual gym floor. Very good facility, very good blokes, very good people. We know them pretty well, and they're more than happy to accommodate us in that sort of flexible position, which I've been very, very surprised post COVID life that so many gyms aren't willing to have a flexible approach to coaching. Getting this weird fixated idea that, online clients can't have a coach outside of their gym or something like that, just is weird. So having a facility that's been open to that sort of conversation and potentially letting us in just to do 1 or 2 days a month, maybe move it to once a week eventually, has been very, very good for me because it means I have to sign or fucking pay ridiculous exorbitant amounts of rent for equipment they've already paid for anyway. Going to make their money back on the memberships. So yeah, it's good.
Completely fair. Should be fun. Should be
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it'd be good. Like I know there's that discrepancy, right, in online coaching where we just can't quite get that intensity out of someone that when you know it's there, that you can when it's like face to face and you can really drill into them and drive them home. So I'm excited just to have those sort of face to face times with clients and really show them how I train and sort of, the few that I have worked with already face to face in just general catch ups and stuff like that, or go to Luke's facility, their interactions were immediately like, I thought I was training at a 10. It turns out I was at a 5. So, watching us train, then jumping on the exercises and sessions, that's, 3 clients just there. So having that opportunity to be open to someone coming to see me or booking in, coming to see work together for an actual face-to-face plus everything else we do will be a good way to get that next marker for them to go to the next level.
Yeah, beautiful. I like it. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm back. So time to get shit up and running. So I'll be bringing back the mentoring and stuff. Very select group of coaches that I'll help mentor.
I like.
Yeah, I'll bring back some online spots and stuff, and just obviously sorting out my check-in days and whatnot, and organizing how many people I can handle on any one day, because I obviously don't want to disrupt the quality of the check-in, so I don't want to be taking on too many people. But I will open up. I mean, I will have opened up a few spots again, so it's not one of those.
Share that on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's not one of those. I have 5 spots left. It's like I'm opening up a whole new day for check-in. So it would be a fair amount. It won't be 5 spots. It'd be like 20. No, it won't be 20. Probably 10, maybe 10, 15 spots I'll open up. Should be able to take on once I figure out everything else.
Nice.
Yeah, bring on the mentoring again. Bring that out.
We should definitely start planning some of the I say planning, mostly just be bounce ideas until post prep, but I'm thinking I'm looking forward to a working weekend again to come down, so maybe might make it closer to a week post shows, post nationals, so maybe within the month after. We start putting some seminars together or something like that from the facility. So
yeah, I've got to organize that. I got the Broderick seminar I still need to organize. Fucking kill me.
Yes, yeah. I'll be coming down for that too.
Yeah, a few things, little things there to organize, but we should be all good. But yeah, for me, I think it's really just coming back to online now and getting content back out and all that fun shit. So it should be good. Should be on.
Beautiful.
But as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions.
Oh, just wanted to give a shout out real quickly too. Really, it just clicked in my head just then. A really humbling moment for me was actually having a listener training next to me. Big Pete came over and just said g'day, just out of nowhere. I was in mind of my own, doing my upper session. I just get my dick face on. So respect to him for even approaching me, because I can't imagine that I look approachable. I'm not approachable. It's just where I'm in the training. And yeah, we had a really good catch up, just a good quick chat, talking about how he's working with Steve Hall and at Revive Stronger, and how long he's been a listener for, and every Saturday and stuff like that. So it was a very humbling moment for me to be, I don't know, what's the word? Just be me and have someone approach me and say, thanks I love what you guys do and listen to the show. So yeah, it was never something I expected to happen. And I think it's how I know I'll probably never be a dick, even if I got got bigger, is that I think I thanked him 15 times in the middle of the conversation. I was just so humbly awkward about it. I was just like, man, appreciate it. So had another guy come up to me this morning that I trained at the same facility with for 3 or 4 years ago now. And yeah, again, he just sort of said, though you don't hear from him in the background, seeing all the matter stuff, seeing the podcast stuff and everything you guys are doing. So it's really cool. It's good to see. It's passionate about it, blah, 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 business getting better, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's cool. It's very humbling experiences for me. to be in the direction we're going and have people like make those sort of comments. So that was cool. I appreciate it.
Very, very good. Wow. Making waves.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So as always, guys, any questions, throw them up in the question box that we drop on a Wednesday
Scaff at this
morning.
point. He's got time again. I don't.
Yeah, I still don't have time. Nah, put them in the question box on either the Bros with Brains page or the Elite Strength Coach page because Ben's dead.
That's fair.
That is it from us. Have
All right,
a
guys.
great
Appreciate it.
weekend.